This is the way losers acting around misfits. Pound for pound, I'm the listing. You can bounce and get dismissed. Clown, get this. Couldn't walk a mile wearing my Fitbit. Competition is non-existent.
All right, so let's talk about Impact Wrestling Emergence. They had a pay-per-view the same night as Rampage and SmackDown. They also had a same night as Ring of Honor's Glory by Honor. I will slowly inch my way through some of these shows. Okay, so this show was completely skippable for the most part. The first 4 or 5 matches are skippable, but that doesn't mean that there wasn't some gems on this show. One gem in specific is pretty much the only reason I watched this show, and maybe I came in biased because I liked them already. But Jake Something versus Josh Alexander, they killed it. And I'm not going to review that match first. I'm just going to wait till we get there. But just too long, didn't listen. Maybe you don't want to listen to the whole video. They killed it. They did really good. And that, to me, that was the match of the night. They really laid it out. And I support both those boys. Even if you don't want to watch the whole show, find that match and watch it. And it's still not perfect, but I really enjoyed it, so you should go watch it. All right, first match. Matt Cardona defeats Rohit Raju. I thought this was a tag team match. Shira attacked Matt Cardona after the match, and Chelsea Green backed him off. He didn't want to hit a woman. I don't care about Rohit Raju. I really don't. They've been pushing that guy solid for like a year now. He just comes across, he just screams mid-card fodder to me. If they had a stronger roster on Impact, he probably wouldn't even be on the show. The second match, Tasha Steelz, Savannah Evans, followed by and No Way versus Decay, which is Black Taurus, Crazy Steve, Rosemary, and Havoc. No Way is just No Way Jose, who also is apparently a superstar who only wrestles on pay-per-view on the Impact Plus shows. And it's weird that Followed By and No Way seem to be baby faces, but Tasha Steelz and Savannah Evans are heels. I saw Savannah Evans for the first time in this match. She's okay. She's bigger for a woman, and that was impressive. I want to see more because it's in this tag team format. It was just a lot of people doing a lot of stuff. Taurus pinned Followed By, so Savannah Evans doesn't even get to win in her first match, which sucks. Steve Maclin defeated Petey Williams. You know what? Steve Maclin is very plain. He doesn't really seem to have a character. It seemed like they might have had a character for him at first, and then they just kind of throw their hands up like, we'll figure it out as we go. He has started doing this Tree of Woe spear spot, where he hangs you upside down and then he runs around the ring or spears you into like Lashley or somebody like that would do. I like that spot. I think it's pretty dope. And it's like it would be a good setup to like a finisher or something like that. But he defeated Petey Williams. I forgot Petey Williams was still around. He's still good. Taylor Wilde lost to Madison Rain due to Tennille Dashwood and Caleb with a K's interference. No doubt there's going to be some type of partnership where Taylor Wilde's going to have to go find herself a tag team partner and some man to deal with Caleb. You probably don't need a man to deal with Caleb, though. The number one contenders match is where things got interesting. This was when the show kind of picked up. Moose, Sami Callihan, Ace Austin, and Chris Sabin. The winner is the number one contender for the Impact World title, and the winner is Ace Austin. Yes. They finally did something that I've been asking for them to do for like the past 5 or 6 months. And I've been saying like Ace Austin should be breaking through and be one of the guys that they're pushing as a main event guy. Now, they've beaten him to pace within the last several months. So there's no chance of him winning the title. Any momentum that he might have had being X Division champion, they've killed it with this stupid partnership that they've done with Madman Fulton. But he actually had a character that works, and he was kind of like, he was very sleazy, very he's a scumbag. I really enjoyed that. Then they really, right around the time of, what was it when they started, I think it might have been the push of Rich Swann. They started tamping him down. Like when he was feuding with Eddie Edwards, he seemed to really have something as far as being ready to go to the next level. And then they just put the boot on his neck, and it's been there ever since. And I don't think him winning this match is going to change much of anything. But it's at least good to see that they're willing to give him a shot. And Christian is the right champion to give guys like Ace Austin, because he can learn a tremendous amount from Christian, and he can become a better. Oh, I guess I spoiled the main event, but I mean, do you really think they were going to put the title on Brian Myers? No. Okay, so Christian is the right opponent for Ace Austin, and I love it. I think this is a great idea. You know, it's a great experimental position. You don't lose anything by putting Ace Austin in the spot. I need for him to grow, and he probably needs to dump Madman Fulton. I know he probably needs a heavy of some kind because he is a smaller guy. But Madman Fulton, they have beaten him to pace 2. They have made him completely look stupid. He really has not served his purpose. And they need to get this boot off his neck. And he needs to be able to go out there, cut promos, and be the character that he showed, at least at points in the past. So Ace Austin winning was a really good idea. I enjoyed that. The match, though, the finish was Sami Callihan hitting Moose in the head with a chair. But the Madman actually did it. They put Ace Austin over, which is really good. Now we finally get to Jake Something versus Josh Alexander. So as I thought the match was going to end, I wrote down that it was very solid. And then the match continued to go. I scratched out solid and I put good. As the match continued, I just scratched out very and put this rules. Now, there's some things in it that I don't like. For instance, the 10 German suplexes. I know a lot of people, popped for that. They think that was great. I think it buries the German suplex. That the guy takes 10 straight German suplexes, like the Benoit variety, where he's holding on and he's getting up, boom, and he's just getting, it's like, all right, I know that Jake is big, but 10 German suplexes in a row unanswered and he still kicks out. You're pushing it. But they had such a good match with, each one working their style and some really cool reversals in this match. Jake is very strong. He did like a really awesome overhead throw that was dope in this match. But there was one specific exchange that I really liked. It was Jake Something was going for his finish, which is the Boss Man Slam. And Josh Alexander countered it and tried to hook his arm into the double underhook suplex, power driver, which is his finish. And then Jake Something kind of countered that, and Josh Alexander countered him with a drop toe hold into the ankle lock, which I thought was sweet, and I thought that would have been a sweet finish, but it wasn't the finish. The ankle lock was, of course, the main weapon in this match. Really weakened Jake Something down. A second thing I didn't really like, the double underhook power driver on the ring apron. Josh Alexander pulls the double underhook power driver on the ring apron, and Jake Something's laying out on the floor, and he gets in the ring at 9. And so I was like, why not just have him eat the 10 count? Have him eat the count out. And because at this point, Josh Alexander had, thrown all this stuff at Jake Something. He just kept coming back. And that was one of the things in this match that I really liked, is that we got to see Josh Alexander have a killer instinct. That, he got to, do straps down, let's get it kind of thing. Like, I'm throwing everything I got at this guy. And I thought, like, okay, letting him eat the count out, I wouldn't have been too mad about the count out, because it was a great spot. He power drived him on the ring apron. He shouldn't get in the ring. But of course, they didn't let well enough alone. In any event, the finish came with Jake had a pretty good momentum going, but he was still selling the knee and ankle because of the ankle lock. Josh Alexander ended up kicking him in the ankle, and he kneeled over to sell it and got caught in the double underhook power driver and pinned. This match ruled. That was good. I like this. The fans were chanting, "This is something," which is unique for Jake. So this match ruled, and they shook hands at the end. Jake Something, even though he lost, he came across like a Terminator. Like, he wouldn't be denied the X Division title, and Josh Alexander was willing to do whatever it took to keep it. So this was fun. This felt like two guys fighting, even though there was some weird stuff in it that was kind of unbelievable. it felt like two guys fighting, and I enjoyed that. So Deonna Purrazzo and Matthew Raywolf defeated Melina and Trey Miguel. I don't know. I guess because they won that mixed tag team tournament, you just don't want to beat them again. You don't want to beat them like that fast. But Matthew Raywolf has not been on the show at all. Whatever. The Good Brothers win the Impact Tag Team title match. They're the defending champions anyway. Rhino gets rolled up by Carl Anderson. The opponents were Violent by Design and Rich Swann and Willie Mack. So after the match, because Violent by Design was actually good and actually enjoyable, they're teasing a breakup. Now, earlier in the show, I've been skipping the promos because there's really no reason to go through the promos, is it? Eric Young cut a promo basically saying that the sickness has reemerged and that it showed us how weak we are. It took our tag team titles from us, but we won't be deterred. Because Doring showed that he is, inhuman when he beat Gallows, and that the energy is now with us, and we have reemerged. And this is what unadulterated passion looks like. So when they lost, they instantly blamed Rhino. All of them blamed Rhino, because Rhino was the one who lost when they lost the tag team titles. Now he is the one who loses when they lose the number one contendership for the tag team titles. Now I'm guessing they're going to probably torture Rhino the way they tortured Diener that time he kept losing. But I don't like this idea of them teasing Violent by Design's breakup. Let these guys run, man. You had something with this. This is another idea, much like Ace Austin, where it started good. I was hooked. I was all in. And then slowly but surely, they tapered it off. And now it's just so far off the wagon that it's kind of like, this sucks. These guys had something. Why tease the breakup? It makes no sense. So the main event, Brian Myers takes the L to Christian Cage, and I tried to see Brian Myers as a main event guy. It just wouldn't work for me. It just was not working. I did not buy him as a main event talent. But the match was solid. Again, it felt like a fourth match on Raw, with a little too much time on it. Christian is going out there, and him being sent to Impact was a great favor that Tony Khan has decided to do to Impact, because Christian is an Impact guy. He feels like a big star there. And it's a shame, because you would think like it's a demotion, and hopefully he doesn't see it that way. But it's clear that being sent to Impact was kind of like, we don't have anything for you. We want you to go work with some young guys, go mentor some of their young guys. With the exception of Brian Myers. Which is why I think he should have probably have worked with somebody else instead of Brian Myers. Like, why couldn't Trey Miguel get this spot? I am advocating a lot for Trey Miguel and Ace Austin and Josh Alexander and Jake something. Those are my 4 Impact guys. Those are the 4 Impact guys that I would be like, please do something with these guys. You need to have a secondary X Division feud. You need to have blood feuds on this show. Something that matters for these 4 dudes, instead of them just having random matches, wrestling each other and losing. Please do something in terms of building their characters, building their personalities, bringing something out of them, so that when they do wrestle guys like Christian, they can feel like they belong on that level. And it's not just where, hey, here's go have this developmental match, like it's, Neville versus Cesaro or something like that. Like, here, go have this developmental ass match. It shouldn't feel that way. It should feel like Christian is wrestling the top guys in Impact. But it didn't feel like that when it came with Kenny Omega was the champion either, because of the way Impact books. They need to change this. Even if you had Rich Swann as the champion, there needs to be a more emphasis on his character, his personality, making him feel bigger. Making him feel grander, like he really is the man. I don't know when this Ace Austin Christian match is going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. But they got some time. Hopefully they got a couple of weeks to really put some steam behind Ace Austin. He probably needs a couple of more statement wins to prove a point, you know, and then I think we'll be good. You know, get him in there with somebody who has some momentum. Can't be, you beat Moose a bunch of times already, so it can't be him. Maybe have him wrestle Sami Callihan and lose, since Sami Callihan seems to be the only guy that they care about on the entire roster now. Maybe that's the right guy. Maybe you have Ace Austin versus Sami Callihan, and he beats Sami Callihan clean, or he beats him with some shenanigans with Madman Fulton or whatever. And that, you know, puts him on that next level. But he needs to be, you have to get all the stink of all the losses and all of the bullshit that you've been doing with him. You got to get that off first, you know. And I don't know if they got a month. I don't know if they got 2 months. I don't know how much time they got. It might not even have that long. It might only have like 2 or 3 weeks because All Out is coming up. So, and my big idea for All Out was I thought it was going to be Christian Omega title for title. At least that's what I thought. Because I don't like the idea of the Impact World Champion going to AEW, wrestling the AEW World Champion, and then losing, and then now having to go defend the Impact title like he didn't just lose. Like, that would be stupid. And that's probably why I haven't heard about it being title for title yet. I would rather Kenny Omega win the title back, and then he faces Ace Austin, rather than Christian wrestles Kenny Omega, loses, and then goes to wrestle. That would suck. But this show, the first half of the show was completely skippable. The second half of the show was solid. I really, really enjoyed that one match. Jake Something and Josh Alexander. You know, the rest of the show was, it was all right. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like this video, share this video, subscribe to the channel, donate to the channel. And I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace out.
Tell me what's worse than learning all that you led to believe was all horse crap. They distort, so question as if